Hi my lovelies, and welcome back to the channel. Firstly, let me apologise. I hope your eye's not drawn to the light, although that probably is the best thing to be looking at when I'm doing a sit down talking video, to be honest. But it's so dark and it is Saturday morning. I'm doing this video ready for Sunday morning. I'm day off today but working tomorrow. So disappointing start to the day when I went to hopefully see my granddaughters dance with their dance school in my local high street where I live now, not where they live. And I walked up there and I was too late and missed it because the time that I was told was not quite correct. So yeah, so I've been out and about already. It's an hour of my life I won't get back, and I didn't get to see them dance, so that's disappointing. But anyway, there you go. Such is life, isn't it? So yeah, back home now. I thought, let's get this video done. But yeah, it's still AM and it's, yeah, really dark. So if you are new here, my name is Sharon. I'm always waffling on about something like I just was. Thank you for stopping by. And I hope that you are all, sorry, I'm all a bit itchy as well. Itchy here, itchy there, itchy flipping everywhere. I hope you're having a lovely weekend so far, and that whatever is left of it when you watch this video will also be a lovely day for you. So if you're new here, my name is Sharon. I'm 62 years old, not for much longer. And I started this channel back at the end of January, purely to document my way of how I'm living now since I moved out of the marital home in January of 2023. So coming up for 3 years now, and coming up for a year of having the channel, which is, yeah, pretty unbelievable, but that's what it is. So over here we talk about personal finance, budgeting, sinking funds, various things to do with money, trying to live well on less, lots of yellow sticker bargains from the supermarket, and some cook with me's. So if that's the kind of thing that you're interested in, then it will be lovely to have you along, especially as a subscriber. So if you're not yet subscribed, then it costs you nothing to do so. Just click on the bell icon to be notified every time I put a video out, because there'll be lots of content and bonus videos to come between now and the lead up to Christmas. So Sundays we usually talk a bit about money, apart from last week when I didn't get a video made and you got the Dubai chocolate, which I think I already said on Wednesdays. Thank you for all your positive comments. And I know a few of you have bought some of the bits and bobs to hopefully give that a try. It's definitely worth it. Definitely worth it. So a few money things to talk about today. So the first one, minimum wage. So we had an email come out from work that our pay is to be increased. Now, my company prides itself on the fact that it pays slightly higher than the minimum wage, and it usually implements that usually slightly before any increases across the board go up, which I think is usually about April time. So this year, so sorry, I've got my notes because otherwise I should forget all this. So the national minimum wage now for somebody over 21, I believe, is £12.21. And at the moment, my company are paying £12.60. So yeah, quite a nice little bit more there, like 39 pence more than the national minimum wage. And then from our December pay, we will see an increase. That £12.60 is going up to £13.45. So again, that is quite a big increase. I find it kind of strange in some ways because if you've been around a while or for a few weeks, you will know about this situation I had about going into the office. Well, apparently there was lots of restructuring done. Lots of people got made redundant. Some, of course, with the news that they had to go into the office every day. Apparently some people did hand their notice in and leave of their own accord, or are in the process of leaving, I assume. So yeah, with all that in mind, the last thing I was expecting was to get an email saying that our wages were going up and we would see that in our December pay. But of course, I'm not mad about it, as you can imagine. It means that there will be a little bit more money to spread around with the sinking funds, at least until any other bills might go up. So say, for example, if the TV licence goes up again or something like that. So it'd be interesting to see how much extra that gives me each month, but we won't know that until the end of December, which will be a nice time for starting the new year, because obviously December's pay will cover everything for January and January sinking funds. So yeah, that's really good. I believe from what I've read and looked up with a Google search, let's pick this up, that I think the national minimum wage is expected to rise from £12.21 to anything between £12.55 and £12.86. And I think it said that they were expecting an average that it probably would be about £12.71. But obviously, don't quote me. You can Google that yourself. So yeah, going up from £12.21 to between £12.55 and £12.86. So for any viewers that are on minimum wage currently, then that's what you can expect if you don't know. Okay, so next thing to talk about, Christmas, the C word again. Lots of us are talking about Christmas in all different ways, shapes and forms, whether that's gift giving, cooking, doing some research into pricing for Christmas again, which I did the other week, checking out the prices in Aldi and trying to bring a Christmas dinner for 4 in under a certain price bracket. And it got me thinking, as I've now bought such a lot of my presents, I thought I would talk about gift giving again. And of course, it's each to their own, and everybody's got a different idea as to what they think is right, or they've got an idea due to their budgeting situation. And of course, I respect what anybody wants to do when it comes to Christmas. And of course, lots of people don't buy, they say they can't afford it, and that's totally fair enough. For me, even though I could have easily said I couldn't afford to do it back at the first Christmas that I was in this house, but for me, I am a gift giver more than I am a receiver, and I'm also a feeder, if you didn't realise that by now. I am a gift giver and I am a feeder. 2 very bad traits, because the pleasure I get from giving presents out to people is, it is just something I love to do. And of course, what I buy and what I spend now is a fraction of what my children and grandchildren used to get when I was still living with my husband. Our budget for everybody was quite high, and now really what I get is a token gift, anything sort of between £20 and £30, but more than likely between 20 and 25. And how do I fund that? Well, I have spoken about it before, and I just wanted to sort of touch on this again and to tell you what I've got, because what I've bought so far, I'm really impressed with the amount of stuff that I've got, but it's cost me nothing. Just from making a few changes to how I do things. So I withdrew from my top cashback £134.82 of free money just for shopping online. Now, a lot of that has built up because I have had people sign up to Top Cashback through my link, which I believe is always in the description box down below. And there's been some money from that. There was money from buying Christmas presents last year online, and also last year I bought all of my son's presents for him, so he gave me the money, and I concocted the list from what everybody had put in the present chat, and I ordered all of his stuff for him. So of course I got cashback on anything I could by going through my Top Cashback account. So basically, from that £134.82 of free money, just from shopping through Top Cashback, for me, it's mainly shopping online. But as I always say, please don't forget, holiday companies are on there, insurance companies are on there. It's not just retail, it's everything. And also the top gift card section of Top Cashback, where you can buy gift cards like I do for your supermarket shop and get cashback on that. Top Cashback also quite frequently have bonus days where they give you £2 bonus cashback for spending £10 or for spending £20. So I know a lot of people in my circle that are with Top Cashback. They might be the kind of people that buy themselves a coffee every day at lunchtime or before work. So they might buy just a Starbucks gift card for £10 or £20 to get their normal cash back on that purchase, plus the £2 bonus. So it's a great platform. I cannot bang on about it enough. I bang on about it all the time. So yeah, 134.82 was what I withdrew, and out of that money I have bought 2 out of my 3 daughters' Christmas presents. I've bought my son's Christmas present, I've bought my 2 grandsons' Christmas presents, and 1 of my granddaughters' Christmas presents. So that is 3, 5, so that's 6 Christmas presents out of that 134.82. There's a little tiny bit of that left, but I would need to check my Monzo account to tell you that, and it's on my phone, so we can't do that. And then the other way of getting free money to spend on Christmas presents, of course, is through doing the Boots Scan to Recycle system. Now, lots of you have said to me that you have signed up to Boots Scan to Recycle, and you are now doing it, and you are earning yourself £5 worth of points for every Scan to Recycle drop that you do. And I've also got a link in the comments for anybody who's over 60. If you're not signed up to their bonus point system for over 60s, then please go check that out in the link below and sign up for that if you've got a Boots Advantage card. So what I did realise was you only get the extra bonus points on anything that is Boots branded. So if I'm picking up cotton wool, or, I mean, lots of people might buy Boots own brand hairspray or shower gel or anything like that, you're going to get bonus points on that if you're over 60, if you have signed up to that program. So it's Boots branded items only that you get that. Now with my Boots points, I have bought 1 daughter's present and 2 granddaughters' presents, the 2 eldest granddaughters. So they are, yeah, into a few bits, luckily, that I could get on Boots. And I've used all of my points now. All of my points have gone. But yeah, I couldn't be happier with that. So that's 9 presents bought. And it has cost me absolutely nothing. It's just all come about from the way that I shop and the free money that I've earned from doing that. So all I've got left to buy is 1 granddaughter, 3 son-in-laws, and my son's girlfriend, and 1 of my friends. So I've got a friend who always buys for me, and I do buy something back just because I feel that I want to. You know, I know she doesn't expect it, but there you go. So that's that. So I'm super happy with that. And I've currently got 64.23 in my top cashback account. Again, the biggest portion of that is from somebody signing up through my link. And I won't get that payable to me until they've got £10 in payable cashback. So what I've got currently is 64.23 and £7.24 of that is payable. So some of that became payable straight after I'd withdrawn my 134.82. So yeah. And also with the things that I've bought using my Boots points, I have also done those Boots orders going through top cashback. So I've got cashback to come on free money that I've spent, and also any Boots purchases track automatically on the passive cashback app, which is called Airtime Rewards, which gives you money to pay off of your phone bill. You may remember back in May, I think I had £44, and I don't buy a lot of stuff. So I was super happy to have that amount. It had taken quite a while to build that up. But yeah, that's a passive cashback app that if you upload your bank cards to it, and then every time you use one of those cards to shop in Boots or New Look or Argos, it will automatically track. So you don't have to do anything. They do also have challenges sometimes that you can opt into. I rarely do that because sometimes it might be that you need to do, say, like 5 shops in a month, and I know I'm not going to do that, so I don't opt in. But there are lots of little benefit things that you can do with Airtime Rewards as well. I'm not sure if I've ever shared my link for that, but I will put it in the description box in case anybody is interested in signing up to that. So that's something that I've had since I moved in here. I have used Airtime Rewards, signed up through somebody else's link on Instagram, so they probably would have got a little kickback from that, as I would if you signed up to it and started using it using my link, because that's usually how these things work with referrals. And don't forget, again, you know, money's tight at this time of year. I've still got my Monzo link in the description. Lots of you have signed up using my link over a period of time. In actual fact, when it comes to like a year-end roundup, I'll have to try and go through and see what I've earned. But I think one month there might have been like 4 of you sign up, and I had like 40 quid, which was amazing. So yeah, if you want a free £10 for doing nothing other than getting a Monzo card, once you've got your free tenner, you have to have done a transaction within 30 days. But once you've got your free £10, you can withdraw it. You never need to use your Monzo card again if you don't want to. So, I mean, I've got friends that moan about their financial situation, but they would never dream of doing any of this. And I can't get my head around it for love nor money, how anybody would turn down the opportunity to get free money. So there you have it. Okay, we'll talk about some free money a bit further down, because I've had a request to talk about something which I will do today. So I want to get on to the 75 hard challenge, because today is the final day of the 75 hard challenge, which I decided I would have a little go at. So there are certain hard and fast rules with the 75 hard financial challenge, and I also created some rules for myself. The rules I created for myself are the ones that have gone AWOL, whereas the ones that are set in stone that you have to do are the ones that I've stuck to. So at least I'm pleased about that. So hard and fast rules with the 75 hard was to track all spending. So I did purchase myself this budgeting book because I saw Alex over at Live Your Best Budget Life. She'd bought this book ready for her to start the 75 Hard. And I am a stationery obsessive. So when I saw that book, I was like, I've got to have it. Oh, it's nothing like a fresh new book or a book that's full. I love both. So yeah, I got the book. I did get the book, treated myself to that book. So in the book, I was not just tracking what I track in my spending diary, which is what I spend day to day. But in the budget book, I've been tracking everything. So every direct debit, every standing order, literally everything in the budget book. The other thing that you have to do, check your banking app daily. So yes, successful also with that. And then wealth education. So I started off, you may remember, so I'm just writing some notes, with an audio book, which was like 6 hours long. So I was doing sort of 15 minutes, some days much more than that, but depending, like trying to listen to it in the mornings while getting ready for work, etc. So I started off with that book. And then, of course, my interest in the Trading 212 app, which I already had and already had a free share. My interest in that began to grow, again, down to Alex talking about it and how she uses it. So a lot of my wealth education was around the Trading 212 app. So I learnt a lot from YouTube videos that I'd been watching or listening to. So the wealth education, that was also good. Stuck with that part of it. And then the wealth action. So you had to also do like a daily wealth action. So that could be anything from uploading an item to Vinted for sale. That's a wealth action. It could be I decided I was going to put £1 in a pot or into a digital pot. Kind of failed a little bit on that one every day, but anyway. And it could also be something like putting money into savings. So we did do quite well, but the two things that I'd set myself to do, which was to list an item on Vinted every day, which would have been 75 items, failed terribly at that. And also the £1 that I wanted to add in the challenge myself, to put £1 into a pot. I went all around the house, went through pockets, went through handbags, old purses, gathering up whatever change I could, and was starting to put £1 in a pot. And then I just ended up putting all sorts of change in. And I don't know how much I've got in here, but I know I've not done it every day. However, I have done the wealth action every day, because although I didn't keep up with this, I did keep up with it because I was doing other things like listing an item on Vinted or putting some money into my Trading 212. So yeah, so overall, what do I think about it? I think it's a really good thing to do, even if you fail at some of the things that you add in for yourself. But certainly for people who are trying to budget for the first time, I think it is really, really a very useful exercise to partake in. And of course, you don't need fancy books. You really don't. You just need a bit of paper, if need be, and to start off going through your bank account and tracking what you are spending on a daily basis, because it can be an eye-opener. It wasn't an eye-opener for me. And what I learned is I feel that I don't really need this book, because I don't spend an awful lot of money, and what I do spend usually comes out of my sinking funds and would be tracked in here, even if it's out of sinking funds. If I went out for lunch, it would be listed in here and it would come out of my socialising fund. So for me personally, I mean, whether I'll buy one of these again for next year just because I love the book, I don't know, I might do. But I don't feel that that is an absolute essential thing. And I think that's pretty much what I learned. I don't need to track, because the money's left in my bank account to cover all of my outgoings, and I know how much I've got left for my sinking funds. That's what makes me feel that that book isn't necessary for me. But it does have sections where you can track savings, so that could be useful. But again, there's other ways to track it, and you could just do it in your normal diary, really. So yeah, that would be totally up to you. So I had a request from Sophie, the lovely Sophie, who said she had signed up to Trading 212 because I'd been talking about it, but just felt she wanted a little bit more of an explanation into it. So Sophie's got her free share because she signed up through my link. And they have just reopened their referral program. So they close it down for a little while and they reopen it up again. So again, I will link this down below because again, it's free money. So if you sign up using my link, you are going to get a free share, and the value of that free share will be anything between £10 and £100. So I first got the Trading 212 app the first year, I think it was the summer of 23, when I moved in this house. I used somebody else's link on Instagram and I got a free share for Deutsche Bank. And that share has sat there. I had to invest £1. You have to obviously upload details about yourself because it is like a bank. It is actually owned by JP Morgan, which is one of the largest American banks, who I think also own Chase Manhattan now. So they're a very big banking group. And so you've got to put some ID and things in. And then you deposit £1 and you get your free share. So the very first free share that I got was worth £10 initially. That share, 2 years later, the most it's been worth has been £37 for a £1 investment. So, and I think after 30 days, you can withdraw that money that you've invested or been given by them, not invested, but you've been given that free share. You can draw that money out, or you can leave it sitting there. Well, I've left mine sitting there, and that's how come the most it's been worth is £37. I think, I'm not sure, I'll screenshot, because obviously stocks and shares and things like that change every minute of every day. So they do go up and down. But of course, when you're getting something for free, what does it matter if it goes up or down? And you're happy to let that sit there and watch it going up or down. It's quite fun, actually. So I've had 2 of you on the last round of referrals that did sign up using my link. So I've had another 2 free shares. So obviously one was Sophie. So Sophie, I don't know if you got the Apple share or the Lufthansa share. And as I'm a bit of an aviation enthusiast, so you don't know anything about my hobbies and interests, you guys, do you? You'll probably be astounded that I quite like sitting at an airport watching planes take off and land. But I think we should do a Q&A one day where you can find out a little bit more about me in that regard. So I've had a free Apple share and a free Lufthansa share. One of those shares was worth £26 when I was given it. And I think the Lufthansa one was £15 or £16. But again, they're changing every day. They're going up and down. But that was a free share for me and a free share for the person who signed up using my link. So obviously Sophie wanted a little bit more information. So under the Trading 212 app, the only 3 things that I think most people would be interested in, under the invest heading, that is where your shares, like my free shares, sit. Then they have a cash ISA heading. So you can have a cash ISA with Trading 212. And you can also have a stocks and shares ISA, with Trading 212. So a lot of my wealth education with the 75 Hard Challenge was to learn a lot more about the stocks and shares ISA, because that's what I was interested in. And that is what I opened. So I have been using for the last 2 months. So whatever I'm left with out of my YouTube income, after I've taken 20% for tax and after I've taken 15% for a charitable donation, whatever is left, I have split in half, and I've put half into my Savoury account, which is attached to my current account, and I have put half in my Trading 212 stocks and shares ISA. Now, of course, this is no financial advice to anybody, because stocks and shares go up and down. If you put your money in the cash ISA, you're just going to get a good rate on your savings that you can withdraw immediately. But with a stocks and shares ISA, you need to be looking more long term. So the reason I decided to do that is because my goal, as a lot of you will know, is to get to the point where I've got £2,500 in savings. Now, at the moment, I've been having, I would say, approximately £100 savings per month from my YouTube income, which I had a phone call come in. So only since I've been monetized with YouTube have I been able to have some savings. Ever since I moved into this house, this is the first time I have had savings, because my sinking funds haven't included an amount for savings. My sinking funds were just to cover my day-to-day expenses, like being able to meet up with a friend for a coffee, like to be able to go to London twice a year to meet up with my friend Sharon and have a day out, to be able to buy a new lipstick when I need one, or a new mascara, or a new shower gel, you know. So they were covering things that allowed me to live pretty much how I used to live. And I felt at one point they were all quite indulgent, but that's, you know, I've had that conversation a couple of times. We've got a lot more sensible ones now. We've got a home one, because there are things that I still need for this house. So each month there's some money goes into that. I've saved for my glasses. I did have a very, I was lucky to receive a super thanks, which helped with the cost of the glasses as well, back a couple of months ago. So yeah, you guys have really helped me with your super thanks, with just subscribing, commenting, listening to the ads for longer than 30 seconds, because that's what it takes for a YouTuber to get paid by Google or by YouTube for the ads that I watched. So yeah, a big thank you to all of you for that. You know that I'm so extremely grateful that I am in a position now where I've got some money to save, and it will take me a long time to get to that £2,500, because if I'm saving around £100 per month, you know, as time goes on, if I get more subscribers and more views, more watch hours, more people watching the ads, then of course that may increase over time. But it's going to take me a long time to get to that £2,500 currently. If I was earning £500 a month from YouTube, then it might take me 5 months. But the way things are, it's going to take a long time. And that is why I made the decision to put the money in the stocks and shares ISA. I was initially led by a lot of the companies that Alex had invested in, because she'd chosen companies that pay dividends, and I have myself had some dividend income. And with some companies, I might only have £5 with them, because you can use an amount of money to buy a partial share. So you might have £5 and think, right, I'm going to open a stocks and shares ISA, and I want to put £5 into, let's say, Tesco, for example. And then you might want to just put more money into Tesco, or the next time you've got £5, you might want to buy a partial share in a different company for whatever reason you want to do it. So, yeah, that's kind of like how it works, but it will go up and down. So for long-term investing, stocks and shares ISA. But if you're just looking to save money and have a higher interest rate than you might get from the bank, then with Trading 212, there is a cash ISA. So you can sign up using my link. You can get your free share. Now, you can't transfer your free share into your stocks and shares ISA. You would have to sell your share and get the money for it, and then go back in to your stocks and shares ISA and purchase something with the money that you'd got back from your share, whether that money went into your stocks and shares ISA if you wanted to start one, or whether you wanted to have a cash ISA with Trading 212. You can't transfer the shares that you've got from signing up that are given to you for free, no matter what their value are. You can't transfer those over to either the cash ISA or the stocks and shares ISA. So I hope that explains things a little bit more for you, Sophie, or anybody else that has watched this to the end. And any individual questions in relation to it, drop them in the comments and I will try to answer them. But I would definitely suggest you go over to Alex's channel, because she was the one that piqued my interest in this, because I already had the free share, I already had the app, and then when Alex started talking about it, I thought, I'm going to do this. And it's a real fun exercise for me to watch these shares changing by the minute. You can be in the app and the amount of money that the share is worth is changing. If it's going up, it's going to be in the green. If it's going down, it's going to be in the red. When I opened my stocks and shares ISA, physical gold was doing really well. So yeah, and then a couple of weeks ago, suddenly it started going down. And now it's just gradually starting to come back up. And that is the way of the world. So this is why people say have a stocks and shares ISA for long-term investing. And the only reason I've gone down that avenue is because I know where I currently sit with a fairly small channel. By the time I've taken my tax out, my charitable donation, it's going to be a while before I get to that 2,500. So yeah. And it's sort of, I kind of feel kind of weird that I'm living on a budget and I've got a stocks and shares ISA. That feels weird to me, because years ago, I thought the people that had ISAs were people that had plenty of money, that could put savings away long term. And it's not like that at all, because I've learned so much since I've been in this situation. So although I used to budget my salary before, I always had sinking funds before, I'd never kind of gone down this route. So yeah, ISAs, whether they're cash ISAs or stocks and shares ISAs, are not just for people that have got plenty of money. They're for anybody that wants to, you know, start saving, no matter how small. And because with Trading 212, you can spend any amount of money in the stocks and shares ISA. You can use £1 in that stocks and shares ISA and select where you want that pound to go, which company you want that pound to go to, whether that be Tesco, whether it be Apple, whether it be physical gold. You can do it for as little as £1. And on some of the companies you choose, you might get a dividend payout. And Alex does talk about that in one of her videos, that she chose a lot of the companies that she chose because they paid dividends. So that was a bit of research I didn't have to do. It was almost like she'd done the research for me. And at the beginning of the 75 Hard Challenge, I went back over Alex's videos as well. So a lot of my wealth education during the 75 Hard has been about Trading 212. And I have learned a lot, and it makes me grin every time I think I've got money in a stocks and shares ISA, and yet all my dinners have yellow stickers on them. I'm living on a budget and on a low income, just over minimum wage. So yeah, what can I say? So I think that's enough from me. I'm sure I've waffled on enough, but yes, thank you so much for joining. And if you've watched till the end, put a money sign in the comments. Even if you've not got a comment, put that bag of cash with the $sign on it, or a pound note, or yeah, something like that in the comments. Let me know that you've watched till the end, because I think this is going to be quite a long video when I piece these couple of bits together. I had to stop it when I had a phone call come through. It stops automatically when you're filming on your phone. So we're still on the phone. We're still propped up on a lantern with a big candle in it. You know, one day we will get a tripod. We will. You know that I want one that comes over the table or over the kitchen worktop so you can see better what I'm doing. It's just I need to be sure I'm getting one that bends over like the cash stuffers have. So if you're a cash stuffer watching this and you can give me a link, I need to know it's going to bend over. I think Alex gave me a link, but it wasn't the same one that she already had, and I'm not sure it will bend over the table. But for when I do my sinking funds and I'm writing in books and things, that would be good, and definitely for cooking. So, right, guys, I will let you go. Have a great week. I will be back a couple of times this week, I'm sure. I think we've got a cooking one coming up with leftovers for Christmas. So I hope you tune into that. And Wednesdays will be shopping. I'm not sure if there'll be any cooking on that one, but the shopping that I've done this week. And anything else I need to catch you guys up on. So take care. Thank you so much for watching. It's really appreciated. You know I love your comments, and thank you for all of those on my empties video as well. You do make me smile. And yeah, rest assured there will be no essential oils, no shower body cleansing products with essential oils in them ever stepping over the threshold of this house again. See you soon, guys. Bye bye.